So I saw this effect done by the super talented Oliver Ostrolago and wanted to recreate it for you guys using a simple point and shoot camera like the Canon G7X and the Zhiyun Crane M2. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to do the elevator effect in Final Cut Pro 10. And again, if you guys like this type of content, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so that whenever I post a new tutorial, you guys will be notified. So I have my subject there, taking a picture, pull back, and then down. I guess lower the camera like you're looking at it and then count to 2 and then lift it up and then take a picture. So for the simple effect, I used this camera called the Canon G7X Mark II paired with the gimbal that Zhiyun sent me, which is the Zhiyun Crane M2. So I wanted to shoot this effect with just this, just to show you guys that you don't need a big setup to create these cool effects. And for those of you looking for a smaller gimbal like the Crane M2 to go with a smaller setup like a Canon G7X, a GoPro, or even your smartphone, then this gimbal might be the one you're looking for. It's simply made for all types of shooters of all different levels. So with this gimbal, you'll have different modes to choose from, similar to the bigger gimbals, such as POV, pan follow, lock mode, and even selfie mode. What I love about it is that I can just throw it in my backpack with the camera still on it and not have a problem doing that since it's so tiny and compact. But more on this gimbal later after the tutorial. I think it's perfect. This is the timing. I guess I want to start walking towards you when you're pulling back. Now to make this effect work, you will need 3 easy and quick shots. The beginning, the transition shot, and the end shot. For the beginning shot, I will have Derek standing on grounds that is slightly elevated higher than me so that I am able to bring the gimbal down, partly covering the camera. This will help add to the illusion of the camera going down. So the main thing is to have your subject in the frame, pull back, and then lower the camera past this concrete barrier. So for the second shot, your transition shot, I used a concrete wall and held the gimbal up high and slowly moved it down. On the gimbal, I'm using the pan follow mode so that the camera will stay facing the wall. The last is the end shot. This can be different depending on what you have around you. I had Derek hold the gimbal up high, pointing at the concrete, then had him pull it back down as I walked towards the camera. Here you go. Okay, now that we have all the clips that we need, let me show you how to easily put this together in Final Cut Pro 10.
So with the way I shot this, it will make the editing portion a lot easier. First thing you'll need to do is drag the beginning shot. I will select the part where Derek is slowly bringing the viewfinder to his eye and end it at around the part where the concrete block is covering up the entire frame. I will then drag the transitioning clip beside it. This will be about 1 second long. Play around with the length, but I found 1 second to be ideal in this situation. Then drag the third clip to the timeline. This will start right when the gimbal begins moving down, but the concrete will still be covering the entire frame. Now since I shot the movement in each clip to blend in well with each other, all I needed to do was add in the cross dissolve transition in between the first 2 clips and the last 2 clips. I then changed the duration of each dissolve transition so that it blended the clips in well without it being too noticeable. Since the mood and color in each clip were all kinda similar, I didn't have a hard time meshing the 3 clips together.
And again, I want to thank Zhiyun for sending me the Crane M2. Now don't let this tiny gimbal fool you. It can do just as much as the bigger gimbals that they have out there. And I've used many other compact gimbals. None of them come close to the Crane M2. The many different modes lets you capture footage in different ways. You can even connect to their app and control the gimbal movement using just your phone. It really comes down to your creativity and what you can come up with. If you guys want to learn more about this gimbal, make sure to click on the link in the description down below.
It's my time in my prime, this the prime time, pretty content, are you content?